What up, everybody? This is Zaffa Slater. Yeah, I just replaced Jack Slater officially on Comic Outlaw, and we're gonna take you back. Fantastic Four, issue 126. It's a retelling, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's gonna lead into the other comics, so bear with me. And if you haven't seen the origin of the Fantastic Four, you're gonna see it now. Doom standing over Sue. Ben is wondering what's going on. Susie, he yells out. But Doom has just killed Susan Richards, a.k.a. Susan Storm. Well, we all know they're going to get married, so. Anyways, Thing jumps for him, ends up crashing into a wall, and Doom disappears. Yes, Doom disappears. Of course, Ben is wondering what's going on. Everybody's wondering what's going on. What is this? It's Reed and his thought projector. Anything that he thinks appears. And it kind of scared the hell out of Thing. I mean, why wouldn't it? After Thing gets over it, Johnny rushes in. Of course Johnny rushes in. I mean, it's his sister after all. Wondering what's going on, Reed gives him a small recap. And of course, this gets them to fighting, as usual. Of course, Johnny and Thing have a little feud. They always take their anger out on each other. I mean, what are brothers for? They fight all the time. Of course, Reed's trying to get between them. Johnny and, well, Thing end up hitting Reed. Susan runs in, and Reed's still a little weak from his bump that he took in the last issue. I guess he didn't get his stretch-o powers in time. He ended up getting a minor concussion. And Allison, of course, is having problems with Thing. Well, you know, here and there. It irritates Thing, and he decides to take it out on Johnny. It's funny how these two just end up fighting. If anyone needs marriage counseling, it's probably these two. They really need to sit down and cry it out or have a cheeseburger or something. But Thing puts on the helmet and he thinks back to when this happened, to when he became a monster, to when his life went away, and he became Benjamin Grimm, the Thing. As the thought projector starts up, we do a little recap here of the Fantastic Four. Yes, Reed and his experimental plane. And this plane is supposed to go up to space, do a little exploration, but the government sadly shut them down. But Reed wasn't having it. He snuck aboard with his family, and they took off. They took off to the cosmos. But they didn't know that cosmic radiation was waiting for them. Yes, you heard me right. Cosmic radiation. And it ends up hitting them and turning them, changing them into different people. Changing them into what will become the Fantastic Four. As their bodies begin to change into something different. Something some might say would be fantastic. But instead of fighting amongst themselves, they decide to unite. And some people say this was Reed's plan all along. Later on, in X-Men vs. Dr. Doom, the truth is actually revealed. Yeah, you actually ought to check that out. Jax did a pretty decent job. He might come back, he might not. You never know. But anyways, Thing, being Thing, gets pissed off, tries hitting Reed. He calms Thing down, trying to negotiate, trying to let him know, you know, everything's going to be okay. And this is when they decide to unite together. And thus, the Fantastic Four is born. Yes, the Fantastic Four. One of Marvel's first and greatest families. And they went off doing their thing, being heroes, being famous, being labeled freaks, this and that. They've had quite a few adventures, and if you look back on my comics, you'll see wonderful work by Stan Lee. You really got to tip your cap to him. Anyways, he remembers the time they battled the Mole Man. And you get a little Mole Man origin here. He finds out there's a place called Monster Island. He decides to venture out towards it. And when he does, and he looks for this place in the Himalayas, he ends up falling down a pit, becoming the ruler of this kingdom. Also blind from being in the dark so long. Johnny challenges him to a little fight, and this is the skills of the Mole Man. He has like a radar sense. He's able to jump around and leap, and he's just taking Johnny to school. Of course, Ben decides to rush for him, but the giant monsters come out. Johnny hits him with a fire blast. Of course he does. Thing, being Thing, is, well, trying to take advantage of the situation. Knock out the Mole Man, maybe, but Mole Man, being the Mole Man, of course, gets the upper hand. Reed ends up trying to attack the Mole Man. He ends up getting smacked for his trouble, but Sue hits his glasses and it blinds the Mole Man. Because the Mole Man can only see with those glasses. They're able to defeat him, blow up his ship. And this is where Thing just kind of has it with the Fantastic Four. He's tired of being a monster. He wants to be human. He wants to be with Allison. And Thing just wants a life. He's tired of being a monster. And he walks off, saying maybe he'll come back for supper. Maybe he won't. You never know. Will the Thing come back to the Fantastic Four? Will they be a team and a family again? Well, we'll find out the next time, won't we? And as always, Zaffa Slater. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah.